Hi guys, it's Elena from Financialdemics.com, where I give you the tips and tools to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. And today we are talking about multiple bank accounts and how they help you stay on budget. If you're looking to get your money right and build a strong financial foundation, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and go ahead and tap that notification bell so you don't miss another one of my weekly uploads. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Multiple bank accounts. I know you've heard of it before. Other people have talked about it before, but I'm going to tell you why I use them and how they keep me on budget. So I started using multiple bank accounts back in college. That long ago, like really long ago. And the reason why I was using them is because I had money set aside just to pay daycare because I had a son and my car payment. And so I didn't want that money mixed up with my regular kind of like bill money, like cell phone money. I didn't have real bills. So like cell phone money, eating out, shopping, things like that. So I didn't want it mixed up with that money because of course I really needed my daycare paid for. And of course I didn't want my car repossessed. And so I had that money in a separate bank account and I would always pay those two bills from that bank account. And when I actually graduated, I carried that same habit over. So one of the ways that I had started controlling how much money I spent was by setting up my direct deposit to have just enough money go into my original account, and that was for all my bills. And then I had like a little bit of money, I would say like 150, go into this other bank account that I used to use for my bills. And I would just spend that money. That was money for me to spend on whatever I want. And that's basically what I call fun money. And I got that term from Dave Ramsey. I didn't even know about Dave Ramsey when I was doing that, but it just made it easier for me then to make sure I wasn't spending all of my money. The first account that I have is a bill account that I have jointly with my husband. And in this account comes the rent money and my student loan money, and then just another small bill that we pay for. Now, the reason why I have this money come through this account is because these two numbers are static. So they stay the same every single month. And it was just easier for me to be able to track what money needed to go into that account. So what I would usually do is have my direct deposit set up. I knew how much was supposed to go into that account, and I would have my money directly go into that account. Now, I have heard of other people who have money going into one account and then they disperse it themselves to their multiple accounts. But if your job gives you the option to have more than two accounts on your direct deposit, if you can, then try to use those as much as possible. So I was able to have 4 accounts. And so one of the accounts is that bill account, and the exact amount of money needed goes directly into that account. For your bill accounts, you want to use a checking account so that you're either able to use your debit card number when you're paying a bill, or either be able to give them the checking account to automatically pull that payment. I also have automatic payments coming out of that account. And so that is why I like to have that money separately. So that money is always there. I just check to see if the deposit came in, and I really don't think about it unless I'm doing my financial checkup and making sure that the bills were paid, which I told you I do that at the end of every month. And if you want to know more about the financial checkup process, then check out this video right here after you watch this one, of course. All right, so the second account I have is also a checking account, and is actually a second bill account. So I only had one bill account until I got married, but now I have two bill accounts. One is just kind of like my random bills that stuff I want to pay for, stuff I already had running that run automatic. And so I use that separately. So in that account, I typically will have things like I have a credit card that I would typically pay off immediately if I use it. So that bill is paid from that account. I have life insurance that comes out of that account. Money that I contribute for my son's 529 plan comes from that account. Oh, and also I donate to a specific charity, and so that money comes directly from that account. And I also pay tithe from that account. And so that is the account in which I use for all of those particular expenses. For that account, I also had a direct deposit set up, so I know how much is supposed to go into that account in order for that account to clear. The next account that I have is also a checking account, and it is my fun money account. So this is the money that I can spend any way I want. Typically, I would have my fun money account by itself, and that's how I used to. But to be in a little bit more control of certain things, and so I actually do have a couple of items that are paid from my actual fun money account, but I have a number associated with them. So once I hit that number, I'm done. So one thing that is paid from my fun money account is automobile gas for my car. The second thing, which I don't know how I feel about it, but it's been working lately, is I have my grocery money come from that account. I've always had an issue with groceries and where the money should come from. I'm really a stickler about my grocery budget. I do not like to spend a lot of money on food, but I like to eat, so it doesn't really go together, but you know. So for now, I have my grocery money coming from my fun money account. I didn't really like it in my bill account. I didn't like carrying around a card from my bill account, and so it is coming from the fun money account. And so I found it that it's very easy to stay on budget by having these three separate checking accounts. And the reason is why is because I don't carry that debit card for my bill account. So there should be no reason why I'm swiping my bill money, right? It makes it easier. And even when I'm not keeping up, because yes, sometimes I don't keep up with my budget, right? The thing that keeps me in place is because you have these bill accounts and those bills are going to run. And even though from the second bill account, I don't have it running automatically, I can easily do that from my phone using the app to pay those bills. But I'm never concerned. Granted, I do always look because that's just the numbers person in me. But I don't have to think like, do I have the money to pay this bill? That money is sitting to the side and you don't have to worry about it until it's time to actually pay your bill. So that's why I really like the fact of having these two bill accounts, because it makes it easier for me to not have to really think, right? Now, I do have two other accounts that I think is important for you to have. They are both savings accounts. The first savings account that I think you should have is a slush fund. A slush fund is not the same as a sinking fund. I know people have called sinking funds slush funds, but in this case, it's going to be a little different. But I have talked about the sinking funds that I do have before. So if you want to learn more about sinking funds, go ahead and check out this video here. And I'll also have a link in the description box below. But a slush fund. So this is my slush savings account, right? This account can be any amount that you want. So the balance that you choose to have in this account has to work for you and your situation. I like to have around $300 to $500 in this account. And this account is not really for emergencies. We'll talk about that next. This account is for the stuff that you kind of knew was coming up, but you forget and you're just caught off guard. And you can also use this account if you need money quickly and you can't access your emergency fund. I like to have a slush fund, like if you forget that it's somebody's birthday, you want to get them a gift. I like to use it for that. I'll use it for if I need to get something fixed quickly. Small things where you need money quickly because, like I said, either you forgot or something happened and you need to just go ahead and take care of it. So you pick the amount. You could start out with 100. You could start with 2, 3, 4, 5. You pick whatever amount you want to pick. I know some people told me that they like to have $1,000 in their slush fund, and that's fine too. Just pick the number that works for you. And the fifth account that we are going to talk about is your emergency fund. And if you want to learn more about emergency funds, check out this video here where I talk all about them. Now, I get it. Some people are still in the starter phase, and that's fine. But the goal is to have 3 to 6 months of expenses in your emergency fund. So I typically don't like this type of savings to be at a brick and mortar bank. I think that since you normally have a significant amount of money in your emergency fund, that you want to at least get a little bit more interest, because you know the banks, they're only paying what? Is it 0.01 or 0.001? It's a little bit of money, right? You want to get some decent amount of interest. Now, granted, it's still not going to be a whole lot, but it's more than what you're going to get at the brick and mortar banks. So I am a fan of either having it in an online savings account or having it in a money market or even a high yield savings account. We have a joint high yield savings account in which we have our emergency fund. And you definitely want to have that account. Even if it's not a lot of money right now, you still can go ahead and save for it. If you're just starting out, you really only need a few accounts to start with. I would say start with a bill account, a fund money account, and your emergency fund. You could start there first. And if you need more accounts as time goes, then definitely you can add more accounts. But initially, as I told you, I started with just a bill account and a fund money account. I really wasn't that good at saving. Once I started saving money, I had those 3 accounts. And then as time has gone on, you know, your situation may become more complicated or you want to be really specific about what you're saving for. That's when I started adding sinking funds to my accounts and added my slush savings because I wanted to be able to put a name on the money that I was saving, and so that I could use it properly. I didn't like everything in one savings account and trying to figure out the numbers. In the comments below, let me know how many bank accounts do you have? And also let me know if you plan on adding a new bank account as a result of this video. And I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please share it with one of your friends. And go ahead and hit that like button and hit subscribe. And I will see you next week with a whole new video.